Hello crafty friends, I'm coming to you today with my very first tutorial. It is on how to prepare Tyvek when making mini albums. Just as a little side note, if you hear little feet in the background, I have a service dog and every now and then she likes to be vocal. Can't put her out, not going to put her out. She's my little buddy. Okay, here are the supplies we're going to need for today. These are Teflon scissors, scoring knife, X-Acto blade, but that's the brand name, some sort of scraper, double-sided tape. I like to use several sizes because it just makes things faster, but you're not required to use any particular size. The sizes that I have here are 3-inch, 2-inch, 3/8 of an inch, and 1 inch. Use whatever sizes you have on hand. A ruler with a metal edge is best because it makes tearing easier. And nice flat surface. And there's a possibility we'll use a cutting board. Alright, here we go. Put these things off to the side. This is a regular Tyvek envelope that you can mail items in. I believe the size is, this one is a 10 by 13. And you can get them in all sorts of colors anywhere, usually office supply stores. You're going to take off, not actually cut it off, but just peel it back because that's still usable. That's what I use the scraps for, tape. Repair tapes, Teflon tape, tape that you need to make a quick item with. Like for instance, this is score tape and Tyvek, and it just gives me a handle to hold my magnets with. Don't take this off, and you just take it completely apart. Okay. You're going to apply your tape to the inside, or if you're reusing postal envelopes, you might want to apply it to the outside so that you can cover up or get rid of some of those markings that are on the outside. I like to go ahead and trim these little edges here off. They just get in the way. You can also pull them. You don't have to use scissors. And you're going to see me turn this board all sorts of ways before this is all over with. And I use my magnets to hold this down. And you just get your tape. And you've got a bit of a curve there. That's alright. You just go a little bit past it so that you can get all of it, and you'll be able to straighten it with the cutter later on. And get as close to that edge as you possibly can. You want to not miss any Tyvek. Get it down there and just apply the tape. And when you get to the end, this is where that stray edge comes in, and this is very helpful because that metal edge there is going to help you out in tearing this tape. And you just put it all the way to the edge of where you want it to go. Press down, give it a nice rip. Then it comes away easily. Readjust your table, your Tyvek, and start again. Like I said, try to have no gaps. Get as close as you can. And you're going to do this all the way down this entire envelope. I usually, when I do one, I go ahead and prep and do the entire thing, even if I'm not going to use it, but you can do it however you want. Just makes it easier later on. Just pull and rip or tear. And you will want to make certain, oops, just lay that back down, that is completely adhered. Okay, for this area up here, I go ahead and tie that or double side tape it as well, just to ensure that I've got everything, and waste not, want not. I want to go ahead and use that space. So this is where my magnets really help hold things down. Line it up. And if you do get a gap, no big deal. Just when you're applying it, actually using this tape that you're preparing, any areas that you have gaps, you will need to either place glue there or put another piece of double-sided adhesive. The ruler can help you get smooth here in these little areas. Just go right past the folds, ignore them, and rip. Start back over here. Now, what are some uses? This is great for when you're making mini albums or folios or hybrid folios and you're wanting to reinforce the spine. Some people actually make their hinges, and I have not done that. They say it takes a little bit of getting used to working with it because it's so floppy, but that it is much stronger than just regular cardstock. So your hinges will lie better and be stronger, not come away. So I'll have to give it a try, and when I do, I'll let you know. Okay, where'd my ruler go? There it goes. Okay, I'm going to take and speed the tutorial up right about now, and I'll slow it back down when I get to the end. Now, for this area right here, I'm going to switch to the 3/8, just so that I can catch those little areas. This is why having different sizes is cool, but having the big sizes makes this process a whole lot faster. I can't imagine doing this with these little 3/8 inch strips, but some people do. It can be done. It'll just take you longer. And if you got the time, don't rush it. Do it. The joy of crafting isn't in doing it fast, but doing it correctly and nicely, and just enjoying the process. Enjoy the journey. Everything is not about speed, and we're from this microwave generation where we want it, and we want it done fast, and we want it done now. But sometimes the item that you put the most time in is the one that looks the best, because you've marinated, kind of like a good meat. Yes, meat It's really good cooked properly. But the meat that has the most flavor is the meat that sits in the juices and the marinades. So you can add flavor to your project by just taking your time. As you see, this one's going to be too big. So I'm done with the 3-inch tape. The 2-inch tape still works, so I'll switch to it. And these little pieces sticking up like this, just get rid of them. Cut them off, give it a haircut, do whatever. No bark, please. That is Desiree. Her title is Duchess. It's because she thinks she's royalty. I'll give you a snack in a minute. Yes, you said I obeyed Mama, so I get a treat for being good. I know, I didn't bring any with me. I am so sorry. I will get one in just a minute. I really love my metal edge. Alright, I'm done with the 2-inch. What's sitting here now can be handled with 3/8. And as you see, or may be able to see, it's wider here than here. It doesn't matter. It's tape. It's going to be underneath. No one's going to be able to tell. That's one of those little things that you just really don't need to worry about freaking out about. So switch to a smaller size. And it is very convenient to have these. So if you can invest in different sizes, get them. And no, you're not going to use these wider sizes very often. But for an activity like this, it's a whole lot easier. Okay. Let's put the magnets back. And let's give this a good rub. A lot of times, so that I don't do the same thing you saw me do earlier, I'll flip it over and I will burnish from the outside. I am looking for my score burnishing tool, bone folder, but I can't find my favorite one, so I'll just use this one. And you just want to give a good press. But this is what's going to be between your pages and the paper and the chipboard. So you don't want it coming loose. Okay, now we're going to trim up these edges here. I go ahead and take the tape off that's overhanging, because for the pieces that you're not about to use, if you leave that, that gets stuck to everything. So I like to go ahead and just use my X-Acto knife and the ruler and just trim it off. I use my straight edge. You can use whatever you want. And I just go ahead and just take that off. And then that way I know it's not sticking to anything in the drawer while it's being stored until I get a chance to use it all. I mean, it's just a little tiny slither that I'm taking off the edge. Some people go ahead and square this up. I just wait because I've found ways to use edges of Tyvek to reinforce things. And sometimes you only need a ½ inch piece. So I just hold on till I need it and take off. Or you can square it up now and just make it a nice square piece of Tyvek. Close this because if I leave it open, I'm liable to stick my hand right in the middle of it and end up cutting myself. I think these scissors are titanium. I don't know. Crystal has some in the store, but they are stick resistant. Things will stick to them, but you can pull it off and you don't end up scissors with a gummy center. So whenever I'm cutting anything that has adhesive on it, I always get my Teflon scissors out. It's easy to get the stuff off it and everything's not sticking to them. I mean, you can just do that. All depends on what mood I'm in. No bark. Now you can do the same thing with bookbinders linen, which I'm about to use this very large piece. So I'm going to do this again and I'll come back to you when I'm done. I'm at the end, and when I get to the end, the tape is going to be wider than the area that I have left. So how do you handle that? You take and line up with the edge, let the tape overlap onto the other taped area. Burnish it real good. And then I take, and the piece that's underneath, which is this piece of tape right here, is underneath this one. I pull up the edge just enough to allow the other tape to lay down, and it may tear, and if it does, no big stew. Just pull up another piece. Ease it up. You can hear the paper trying to tear. It's not going to hurt anything. You may have to pull this back a little bit. And then when you've got it edge up, burnish that top piece underneath and just follow it. And yes, in that little strip of area, there's going to be double adhesive. It's not thick enough to cause a problem. And now that piece is ready. And okay, we're done. We've covered a piece of Tyvek and 2 pieces of bookbinders linen. And these are all the supplies that were used. I'll put links in the video below to ASC Etsy shop, ASC Supplies Shop and Etsy, and you can purchase everything you need there, I believe. Have a good day.